Hello guys, girls, welcome back. Ralph's Automotive. What we have today is a 2008 Ford Escape Hybrid. The complaint on this automobile is a non-functioning air conditioning. With other words, it does not blow cold air. We are going to investigate low-tech and go to high-tech if needed. So, first of all, we're going to have to verify the customer complaint, and we're going to have to hook the hose up. I got the door closed because it's been raining. It's cooler outside today, and we'll go ahead and start this thing up. Verify all of our settings are set to maximum AC, as cold as we can get it. And we'll have a look and see what the AC compressor is doing. So here is our vehicle purring like a kitten, and we've already identified the problem. I'm going to bring you down inside the engine compartment. We make sure that as far as the gauges inside the automobile, we made sure that the AC request was given, and it is. So as you can see here, the compressor clutch is not spinning. With other words, the air compressor is inoperative. So here's a few components. We've got a multi-function high pressure switch. We got a low pressure switch located over here. We've got a passenger, shoot, I forgot what the thing is called. A passenger zone valve. What it is, it's a magnetic coil that either opens or closes this high side. It's tied into the passenger control. There is no, on this particular one here, there is no control as far as partially open or partially closed, whichever way you want to look at it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is this is either open or closed. There is no control on this circuit whatsoever, other than power or no power. If I'm not mistaken, there is another one somewhere on the inside, not 100%, on this particular vehicle here. There's a low side charge port. Here we have the high side charge port. And we have already verified. I don't have that on the camera. I didn't record it. But I have already verified the charge on here. So let me go ahead and get a set of gauges on this thing. So there you go. Have your charge at the low pressure side of things. That is enough pressure. The actual pressure at this point in time is irrelevant. As we can see, we have more than enough pressure to where it should trigger the low side switch. And the low side switch is open. Goes open when the pressure is released from the system. It closes when there is enough pressure in the system. So unplugging gets you back, zoom back out here. Not in, out. Out, out. So we're unplugging this low pressure switch that will then also disable the air compressor. We can do a bypass test on that just to check the low pressure switch and make sure it is not bad. We can basically close that circuit. I'm going to do that with the help of a piece of wire. So we are not getting anything on the AC compressor yet. Next we go to the terminal itself. Here is the feed, nice and bright. Output side, of course, cold, nothing, not supposed to have anything on it until this is plugged in. The low pressure switch has got a contactor built on the inside. Pressure pushes the contactor plate up and closes that circuit. That's how the power gets from this side over to this side. This is a 4-conductor plug-in because it's the same as the multifunction switch down here. It's also 4-conductor, but there's only 2 wires hooked up, the feed and on the other catty corner on the other side. Well, on the high pressure side of things, I'll bring you along. See if we can zoom into that. Oh, Houston, you have a problem. Okay, as you can see, we have some wires that are destroyed on that part right there. This may be turning into a short video, but nonetheless, there is visual inspection. So I'm going to shut this thing down real quick, and I'm going to do probably a little bit of a disclaimer. Since we don't always work on hybrid cars, the fat orange wires or anything, you know, that's marked in orange on these cars, use caution, know what it is that you're working on, as you can get hurt on these wires. Just throw that in there. You know, this is a hybrid, it's got power running in there, and it's not a good thing if you don't know what you're doing and you get a hold of a wrong wire. Just figured I'd throw that in there real quick. But anyway, getting back to this high pressure plug, yeah, that's definitely a problem. I'm not saying it is the problem, but it is a problem nonetheless. Don't know what happened here, to be honest. Right now, I need to go and get me some better glasses on because I can't see it with these here. There is not a lot of room, nothing I can pull up. It doesn't look that way anyhow. This is about all I can get. Let's undo these gauges here. We do not need them. That way they don't get in the way of the camera either, so as I had mentioned, you know, this may not have anything to do with anything, but with the wires being broke, part of the system is not working for sure. So the plastic here, I can't pull. I try to pull back a little on it. I can't get no clearance on that, so it doesn't really leave me any choice but to cut that open. Pay attention not to cut into the wires themselves. Probably didn't have to cut that much, but I'm going to allow myself enough clearance to get in here. I still really cannot see what may have caused these wires to break. They don't look green. They look like, almost looks like something was dropped on it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, on top of the plug here, it does look like something been dropped on it, but I would not know what. I did not know that there's anybody that worked on this other than the body shop. It's been in the body shop a couple of times. It had some front end damage. I do know about that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Not here to try and find out what happened to it. We're going to have to fix it. So I don't think that there is... No, I don't think there is any way to remove anything on the inside of the plug. I think we just push the terminals out. So the other day, now prior to this, I've never used this before. I ordered one of these terminal sets that's got a description for applications down here, like the 13, the 14, the 15, they all say Ford. So these are numbered in here, and let's see what they look like. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So they tell me that 13, 14, and 15 is applicable to a Ford. So let's try and look at this 16 and see if this in fact works. I think that may be a little bit big. Not for sure. Like I said, personally, I've not used terminal tools before. May not even know how to use them. No telling. Don't look like I do. Normally I use a pin and poke around until I find a locking part of it. I know I'm on the right side here, so that's odd. I don't have that much problem with just a pick. Well, I sure thought I had it there, but apparently I don't have nothing. Live TV, guys, part of it. Okay, turn the camera off for a minute till I get this. I'm sure this is getting super boring by now. So I just started to take it apart, and I've noticed the plastic tab on top was also broken. So I'm just going to get a new switch from the junkyard, and we'll wire that into it. Put some terminals on there, turn the car back on, just for testing purposes, to see if that had something to do with our problem. And we've got cold air because our pump is running. Well, guys, I'm sorry this turned out to be such a short video. I was kind of hoping to do a little bit more involved, but, well, I'm not hoping it's for the customer. This is easier for the customer, easier on the pocketbook anyway. It is what it is. That's obviously a fix. This is, as I said before, it's the multi-function switch. High side, this is ice cold now. Fan is running. So, again, power of visual inspection right there. So we've got that part nailed. Now all we need to do is put the plug on it as soon as I get it. And I'm probably going to, for ease of putting it together, I'm probably going to solder the wires on it, not even try to take that plug apart. I've had enough problems with that plug as is. I'm just going to solder into it. We'll cut some of these existing wires off, taper all up, and I'll show you the finished fix. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. No, just kidding. This is a different day, actually, get right down to it, but went to the salvage yard, couldn't find well, I did find a plug, but they are rather pricey in the parts store, so went to the salvage yard, picked one up. They're not the same colors, but we don't worry about it. Nobody's going to work on a car but me anyway, so I'm not too concerned with it, and hopefully there's never no confusion about it anyway. So here we go. I got to get it done though. I got to get this thing shipped. I got my old putter saw. I got it out. Got me some solder laying here. I got me cut me a couple of pieces of heat shrink tubing, and this tubing here, that's the kind of tubing that has got the glue on the inside. So once we solder this all together, this will actually be completely sealed. I got a picture. I took a picture of the old plug, marked the colors and whatnot so we don't get confused there. I normally don't try to ravel these wires together. I normally just put some solder on it, hold them together, and do it like that. I've really not ever had a wire come apart on me, so I mean, must be okay. Like I said, I've never had one come apart on me. Sometimes when the wires are a little bit older, you know, and they seem like they don't want to take the solder real good. If you have any of the acid paste, just the paste itself, you dip them in that. That's normally all it needs for it to take the solder. Here we're going to do one at a time. Looking at the front on the tab here in the front, that's what was broke on the other plug. So I have it on the picture just like this. So first wire that we're going to put on is the green one over here. get us some solder on here and hold that up there. Try to stay out of the picture so you can see what I'm doing here. Put a tube in across it. Okay, now we got glue coming out on both ends. It's gushing out all the way around. What I just did is on these things here, they got an exhaust port, and I used the exhaust port to heat the heat shrink up rather than open flame. So the green over here is actually the gray. That'll be our next wire. Make sure I don't forget to slip the heat shrink onto it. Put me a little bit more solder on the tip of the solder iron.
Key thing is to hold it steady. Make sure that there's no gap in between. As long as there's no gap, it'll hold, I promise you. There's no reason why it's not going to hold. Go all the way around it and keep going until we see the glue come out both sides all the way around. If it doesn't, it is not sealed.
Don't know if the camera can see it or not. Yes, I think you can see the glue on the wires. You see how that is coming out of there? So, going to the next wire, and again looking at the tab from the top, this would be our purple wire, goes here to the red and yellow, I hope. Turn my solder iron back on, get this purple wire situated where I need it. Get some solder on the tip. Okay, make sure that we got a good connection all the way around. Yank on it as hard as you want to. Of course, that's without ripping the wires in half. It goes without saying. Once again, that glue is coming out nicely out of the end, going all the way around the wire. Can't stress that enough. That is important that it comes out. Attach this last wire. Hot glue. Exactly. That's exactly what that is hot glue. Kind of gets really hot when it gets on your hands. Tip is getting dry. Once again, make sure we got solder all the way around. Thing is hot. Okay guys, so do some soldering work, guys. This kit right here, bought it many years ago. It's invaluable to have one of them things. They work great. It's got different blades. Cutting blade is also got really for shrinking. It's got an attachment, got all that. You know, I don't ever use it, but anyway, I can recommend these kits. Had that for a long time, been using that. This is actually my second or third one. I mean, nothing lasts forever. I done used to solder a whole lot and wore one completely out, so I had to get another one. But I also got yet another one laying around somewhere. Before we get too carried away with anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the car on, and then I'm not going to plug it in just right yet, and I want to get you a shot of the air compressor. If you remember it, it did not kick in, and then after I had the wires temporary on there, it did kick in. Once again, we are set to maximum AC. I don't know that I can do both of it at the same time. The compressor down there, the clutch, is not spinning. I'm going to plug it in. And there goes the compressor clutch. And our lines are already starting to cool down. Getting high as smoke. So guys, I think that's going to be a fix. I'll turn that off. Chilling inside. Fan motor was running. In case you, I don't know if the camera, well yeah, the camera probably picked that up. So we'll go ahead and unplug it. I went a little bit crazy long with it, but it doesn't hurt anything. I'll wrap some tape around everything, plug it back in, and ship it. Got lucky on the salvage yards. They've had one. They've had only one of them that had this plug on it. I mean, normally there's nothing here that should hurt that anyway. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. It's clipped over here to the strut tower, so we'll put the lid back on it. So guys, thank you everybody that's watching and subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that. That's giving something back for the work anyway, you know. Don't expect nothing else, but I do appreciate, you know, watching the video, liking it, whatever. Or if you got comments, you know, good or bad, we'll take them. Thanks for watching. I guess one thing I ought to add to it is I did check the integrity of the plug itself. I did a drag test on the pins and made sure that there's nothing wrong with the plug, and it's absolutely fine. There was nothing wrong with that plug whatsoever. no green crusties, nothing. It was shiny on the inside. Drag test was real good on it. Figured I had that in there. Don't just grab something from the junkyard and plug it in and hope for the best.